Hi, this is James, or Jim, from Simulations Unlimited, and we're all excited about the new simulator, Running Train. Let's get right into it. We'll start it up now. While it's loading, this is an early access version of Running Train. And, oh yes, there's a note here that says that these are fictitious cities and things like that. This loaded up very quickly. I wanted to say while it was loading up that there are things that are not included in the early access. Or in a positive way, we can say there are things that we can look forward to in the future. So in the future, we can look forward to a tutorial. The tutorial now does not really, it's not there yet, so you only get this if you go to it. The other things will be announcements and music. So when we go to the stations, yes, there are no passengers. That's going to appear in the future. And there will apparently be music. I guess music that's appropriate to Japanese stations. So there are no passengers and there are no announcements. So a passenger system will be in the future, and a passenger point of view. Conductor mode is a mode that is coming in the future. All right, so let's go ahead and use this. Let's go over settings, because I know that's a question that comes up. You see how the game looks, and you want to know what are the settings, what sort of settings do we have set up here. Here are my settings for motion blur and vehicle sway intensity, and you see the other settings there. They're pretty well self-explanatory. Let's get into graphics. Now I know you start to wonder, okay, wait a minute, what's your system? So let me give you a quick rundown of my system. Well, I thought we could do that. Let's see. There we go. All right, so here's a quick system summary of my system. You can freeze there to look at that. I have VSync on. And here's what I'm using for anti-aliasing and upscaling. DLSS. Not sure that I completely understand all of what that implies, but that's what I'm using. Now, notice everything else is ultra. I have an FPS limit of 60 frames per second. Audio is probably not that interesting, but there it is. Input device, you have two choices here, I guess, camera mode and driving mode. I really haven't done a lot with that yet. Okay, so that's where I am. Let's see, I think to get out of this, press escape. Change is okay. All right, let's look at starting to drive. There's some interesting things in driving mode. First of all, you have a selection. Well, let's go to the routes here. You have two routes. The first one here, and I'm not going to even try to pronounce any of this. In this route, all of the times are exactly the same, 12 minutes. Starts at different times, but the times are all 12 minutes. Let's go to the second route. This is the one we'll be using now. Those times vary. See, this first one, the one we're going to do is 6 minutes. The next one's 44 minutes. The next one, 24. So that varies all over the place. They have locals, and the ones that are a different color here are expresses. All right, let's look at choosing this one. Let's go to start. You can have a different train set. Here's got a 6, a 2, a 4. I'm going to go with a 6. You can change the color. I like that color. No, I think I'll go to the first one. Yeah, all right, let's select this color. The seasons right now is just spring and winter. We'll see if there will be additional seasons later. And you can change the weather. We'll go with partly cloudy. Now, some interesting features in difficulty setting. When it comes to free practice, there's no scoring. So if you turn that on, no scoring. Another feature is auto driving. It's like a complete autopilot for the unit, and so you have you don't have to do anything. And we're going to turn that on because I want you to look at some of the features inside and the scenery outside of the locomotive. And so you have different levels you can set here. And notice there's a hard mode. If you turn this on, you get a factor of 1.5, I think it is. Let's for a moment turn it on. And you see with this you get your score, whatever score you get will be multiplied by 1.5. So you can go all the way from no score at all to auto drive like we're going to do now. All right, let's go ahead. Very exciting simulator, running train. This is a Japanese simulator, and we're told that these towns are fictitious. Okay, here we go. Everything will be automatic. Now look in the upper right-hand corner, and you see it notates that the train is stopped. You'll see an icon there to the left that shows how much time is left. The yellow time indicators the actual time, and just above that is what time we're supposed to depart. So we're going to depart in about 15 seconds, and knowing Japan is going to be right at 15 seconds. Let's go over to the bottom left-hand corner. Notice the green door indicator. When that comes on, it means your door is safe. You can go ahead. Over to the left, you'll see a G meter indicate what G stresses are being applied. Speedometer is sort of self-explanatory. Now notice our speed limit now is 80 as indicated by the yellow line, but also if you look at just below the number 160, there's a 40 there, which indicates also an indication of our speed limit. To the right of the speedometer, an important indicator is our BC, our brake cylinder, and as we go into station, anytime we brake, you'll see that indication of your braking. The other place that you'll see indication of your braking is look at the circular dials. The 1, 2, third dial, of course, is your speedometer. The 1, 2, the second dial is also an indication of your braking. So you can look and see that your brake cylinder via the second dial is 0. All right, let's go outside. Take a look at the clouds. It's early morning now, but look at that scenery. Wow. And of course, everything is set at ultra. And notice how this, another train. Notice how this thing, there's no stuttering. The scenery is beautiful. And we are at just wide open as far as scenery is concerned. The settings are at ultra. Let's go back inside. Notice at the, go back over to the left side, and as you look up a bit from the speedometer and stuff, you'll see 85 there is the indication of your next speed limit, and it indicates your next signal is clear. We're coming into the station. Directly in front of you, you see how many meters where you should stop, and that's indicated there. It is important that you stop pretty close to where the indication is. Now, what happens if you overrun it will ask you to put it in reverse and back up until you get it right. If you are too short, it will tell you to go on forward. Going forward, of course, pretty easy. So this simulator does require you to be pretty close to the actual stopping point. Notice looking at your left side, bottom left, you see an indication of the braking. The brake cylinder now is at 383, and you see it go down as simultaneously the same indication as the second circle. Let's look at some more scenery. Wow. If you have been frustrated by stuttering and want some stuttering relief, this has been a beautiful experience not to have to worry about that. Let's see if we can get, I know many of you like to look at see what does the undercarriage look like, if I can get in close. Yeah, it's a little bit dark, but hopefully you can see some view of the undercarriage. Views overhead and back in front. Now, as we start to approach the station, looking directly out of the windshield, you see we're about 1 kilometer from the station. You can watch the braking and notice your braking indications, your indicators there. And let's see, do we have our speed? We have a 45 speed limit now, and in the future it says that we're coming up 45. Okay. Now, watching directly in front of you, you see we have 0.6 kilometers to go. Now, when we get close, I notice the yellow flashing sign there. That starts flashing as we get near a station. And someone says something in Japanese. Unfortunately, I do not read Japanese. I do not understand Japanese spoken language, so I'm not sure what that means. So for right now, I just ignore it. And so far, we don't seem to have any difficulties, any problems with your scoring if you ignore that. Notice the braking and how it's indicated. And once again, the autopilot does a very nice stop. It says press space to turn off the ATS chime. I just pressed space and sure enough it did. One might ask, what does ATS do? Apparently, we don't have the situations where ATS shuts you down and you pretty well can't go. Usually, if you stop and then press space, it will shut off ATS. So sometimes you hitting space does not shut off the chime. If you come to a full stop, that'll probably shut off the chime. And every now and then I've run into situations where you're full stop and that doesn't shut it off. A little bit of a problem. You might have to live with the chime for a while. This is a beautiful simulator. Let me go outside if I can. We're in the station, so I don't know if we'll be able to see a whole lot. We, of course, can look at the station as best we can. Take a look at some of the outside detail of this train. It's just a lovely simulator. And you get some view of the sky and out there. Let's go back inside. You'll see some more. Now at this point, I think the simulator would normally stop the simulation and give you a message and say, hey, press enter, and it'll stop it. But I think that is not quite something not quite working there yet. We're done. We're at the end of the line here because we're on autopilot, so it would keep going. So I'm going to press escape, and at this point, we're finished with our scenario and our simulation. My opinion of the simulator, it's just absolutely great, absolutely great. It's you might have the question of should you buy it? Of course, that's an individual decision, but it was only about $17 or $18 US, and the pre-release version, I am enjoying it thoroughly. So I can't imagine there'd be too many people who would be disappointed with this. But in any event, we wanted to give you a preview of it, let you see some of what it is like so you can make your decision. But I can tell you so far, I am absolutely delighted with this. I am so happy not to have to worry about stutters. It's a great simulation. Well, hope that helps, and please remember to like and subscribe. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video.